G'day YouTube, welcome to another episode of the Friday Vape Club. As always, your host Squidly, back for another review for you. I hope you are doing well. Today we are looking at a little pod system. This is the Smoant Pasito, and you might be excused for thinking that this is the Lost Vape Orion Cube, or the Smock Trinity, or there was a Geek Vape one. They're pretty much all exactly the same. The big difference with this though, is it comes with a rebuildable head. Let's dive down, let's take a quick look around it. We'll jump back up top here. We'll do the pros, cons, price, and all that other stuff, all the good shit that you guys have come to know and love and expect from the Friday Vape Club. So stick around, watch the video. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button, and do not forget to smash that like button. It fucking helps a brother out. Let's get into this. Alright, so here we have a closer look at the Smoant Pasito. Little dimensions for this thing. So it is 102 millimeters tall, it is 38 millimeters wide, and it is 18 millimeters deep. Up the top here, you do have your little pod system. This thing will hold 3 mils of liquid. Up here is your drip tip. This unscrews to reveal the fill port. So you fill down this side here, not in the middle. Don't make that mistake because you'll pour straight down the coil. So you fill up in here, screw this back on, and away you go. This here is your airflow adjustment. So your airflow will come in here, goes down the side, underneath the pod, and then it goes out through the coil that way in sort of a U shape. And you adjust your airflow right here. So you just slide this little tab across to dial in your desired amount of airflow. And the pod, it is held in here with magnets, so you pull it out. So that's the pod itself. To replace the coils, it needs to be empty, but you simply unscrew that like so. Then underneath here, you've got this little connection. This little gold-plated section here makes connection with the gold-plated terminals inside the battery. So to remove these, you've got these little lips here. You just kind of pinch it and pull out. Pinch and pull out. How many times have we done that in our youth, gents? Hey? And this here is the 0.6 direct lung coil head that I have been rocking. And to remove this, you simply just grab it and sort of unthread it like so till it feel it come loose. Pull it out, and there you go. It's as easy as that. And I really have been enjoying this Pasito with this direct lung coil head. So to put this back inside the pod, put it in like so, push it down, screw in your drip tip. So that's the pod. This is the battery housing. So this is a 1100 milliamp hour battery. It does have what they call the ant chip. So this ant chip will give you the constant wattage output regardless of the battery level. So that's pretty freaking cool that they give you that with, some sort of pod system like this. It's pretty rare. I noticed that on my Miley. Certainly runs out of steam after a while. Up the top here in this separate panel, you've got 5 little LED lights. And when you push this fire button, you'll see them light up. So that's going to either fire or will tell you at a quick glance how full your battery is. Down here, you do have the wattage adjustment button. So you can see the 3 light up. Push the button again, you get 4 and you get 5. Each one of these represents a wattage level. So that is 10 watts, that's 13 watts, that is 16 watts, that's 20 watts, and that's 25 watts. So when you're running your RBA deck or your direct lung, you can really adjust this wattage and dial it into your perfect kind of vape. Down here you also have a USB-C charging port. Underneath here you've got some battery venting and it says the ant chip. And then down this side you've got nothing. The other thing to note about this Pasito is these panels. The panels are CPR. I don't know what CPR is. So if any cunt knows out what CPR, other than, you know, giving people fucking mouth to mouth, but if you know what CPR is, it's supposed to like keep this really high gloss. It's supposed to be wear resistant and fingerprint resistant. It certainly isn't fingerprint resistant. I don't know whether you can't. It's not a fingerprint magnet, I'll tell you that much, but you can certainly see fingerprints in direct sunlight. So it's not fingerprint resistant. So that's a look around the Smoant Pasito. Let's take a look at the packaging. And here we have the packaging for the Smoant Pasito. Beautiful packaging. Picture on the front, Smoant Pasito, there we go. You got some information and shit on the back. But the cool thing about this is, look at this. This is how shit should be displayed. It makes it an occasion. So that's fucking cool. Once you open up these flaps, your Pasito will be sitting in here. You get all these instructions down the side and tells you what the mod and the pod do. That's kind of cool. You also get a Smoant warranty card, a Smoant quality certificate, a USB-C charging cable, and you get the 1.4 mouth to lung coil head. I'm going to put this in there now and try this out, hey? Let you know how I go. I also got included the Smoant Re-buildable section, so let's take a quick look at this as well. So in that box you do get some spare grub screws, you get a little screwdriver, you get some O-rings, and you do get some cotton and some pieces of wire. First thing you'll notice is this is the rebuildable section. So included is this little base section, and this base section is for you to put the rebuildable section on your ohm reader, and you can build on this. This is the rebuildable section. You got these little Phillips head screws up here. You got your two posts. You've got your post holes or your coil leg holes, and then you've got your airflow. The problem with this rebuildable section is you want your coil to be sitting inside those two post holes. The problem is that you then got a coil leg coming out this way and coming out that way. So then you need to bend your coil legs and try and get them through those holes, get it all nice. It's a really shittly designed rebuildable deck. They should have off-centered these posts and then turn them around so the coil legs literally slot in place. It would mean you'd have to wrap your coil legs a particular way, but that wouldn't be too much of a hassle. It would be less of a hassle than having this fucking monstrosity. So we could give it a build. I'll see how I go. You might get a generic build video, you might fucking not. The other alternative is potentially wrapping your coil legs around the screws, the top of the screw, unthreading it and then putting it in. The only issue with wrapping your coil legs around the screws up the top of the post is it may touch the top of this when it's all screwed back down. So just be aware of that. It's a great fucking idea, but really shittly executed, Smoant. Really shittly executed. The Smoant Pasito, let's jump back up top. Let's do pros, cons, price, and if I would give this a recommendation or not. G'day fam, sorry to interject. I know you were enjoying the video, gotta cut it up a little bit. So what you're about to see is a generic build video. This is my second attempt. I did wrap one wire when I installed it, I really fucked it up. So this is attempt number 2 that you will see. I hope you enjoy the rebuildable section, you can use it. I didn't test it with the review, but I have got the rebuildable section in here now, and I am using it post-review with some Mr. Wickie's strawberry sherbet. And it works, but you know, it is a bit of a bitch. That's a fucking cunt to wick and to install coils. All right, here's your generic build video. Enjoy it. So there we had a quick look around the Pasito. What we're gonna do is we're gonna take it for a vape like we always do. I have got the direct lung coil in here. As you can see from my little lights, it is at the 20 watt interval. I've got 3/4 of a battery. Let's take it for a rip. I dig this little thing. Okay, so let's talk about the three things: flavor, cloud production, airflow.
Flavor, cloud production, airflow.
All right, so let's kick on with flavor first. I found the direct lung coil head to be pretty average in flavor, if I'm honest. The mouth to lung coil head is a little bit better. I used both of them, and I haven't tried the rebuildable, and I'll tell you why. Because that rebuildable is a little cunt of a thing to fucking build on, but more about that later. So yeah, the direct lung, maybe about 7 out of 10, and the mouth to lung, maybe about an 8 out of 10. Cloud production, pretty decent on the direct lung, and that's how I've been enjoying this the most, if I'm honest. I prefer something like the Miley for its cigarette-like airflow, and I prefer the Pasito as something like a restricted direct lung, almost mouth to lung, but more of an open mouth to lung vape. So that's how I've been enjoying it, and I think it works really, really well in this style of setup. The airflow on this is really easy to adjust with this little top section here. Just slide this little bar over and that adjusts your airflow. Wide open is how I enjoy it. It is very restricted in that direct lung coil setup, but it still feels a little bit turbulent. It's not very smooth, and I think that's due to the air path, the air having to come down, turn that sharp right angle, come across the bottom like here, and then come out. And I think that's the reason why. But apart from that, it's really nice to vape. So let's get into the pros for this thing.
Pros.
So the one thing I really like about this is its small, compact nature. Like I said, it's just really cool to have in your pocket and be on the go. I've got some 3 milligram nicotine liquid in here, so I just kind of vape this as I'm going along, as opposed to, you know, carrying a big Dual 18 650 mod and tank when you're out and about and having to put it in your pockets. Something like this is just really cool to nip down to the shops with. So I really dig that. It is super easy to operate. So you've got your fire button right here, and that shows you your batteries. So you can see at a quick glance how full your battery is. And then this little button down here, that shows you which wattage, and just pushing that changes the wattage. Super easy, super simple. The coils, to get the coil head in and out, just simply pull. It's held in there with magnets, pretty strong magnets at that. The coil heads are super easy to install. I really dig that. And the other thing I like about this is it's very easy to adjust your airflow. Having this on the top, being able to adjust. I have had other mouth to lung devices in the past where you got to kind of take the mouthpiece off, and then you've got to turn a little O-ring somewhere, then put it back down, then try and vape. Like having it on top, simple, easy, so user-friendly. The other pro for me is this direct lung coil head keeps up with the 7030 VGPG juice. And I fucking love when a pod system does that, because it means I don't have to buy a thinner, viscous liquid. Like I can stick with my 7030 VG, I can decant some, and I can put some high nic in it, and I can run, you know, a high milligram strength of my exact same juice. So I really love that. USB-C, so it takes USB-C. Everyone's making a big deal of this. It's USB-C.
Who gives a fuck?
It just means I don't need extra fucking charging cables. That's all it means for me. I don't give a fuck about anything else. Smoant have made a display of this. Like you get, it's kind of like an event opening the Pasito, and that's fucking cool. Like not many companies do that. They usually give you a clear plastic with your mod in it or your atomizer in it. But Smoant have kind of gone that extra step for the consumer, and that's really, really cool. So the cons for the Smoant Pasito.
Cons.
The first con is that fucking build deck. The build deck is absolutely ridiculous. I don't know what they were thinking or who designed that, but they should be taken out the back and they should be fucking shot in the head, because that is a real fuck up.
Dumb cunt.
Having those holes drilled into the side of the post holes so your coil lugs have to come out, crack a 90 degrees and then go back through, fucking ridiculous. If you're watching this and you didn't see a generic build video, that was because it was way too hard and I'm way too fucking stupid and I fucked it up and I didn't include it, all right? That's why you didn't get it. The other thing with that rebuildable head is it does not come as part of the packaging, and it fucking well should. You only get one pod with this. Come on, Smoant, give us another fucking pod. Really?
Cheap cunt.
This is a real nitpicky con. I really wish that fire button was a little bit higher. I wish it was kind of up here. I'm not a thumb fire guy. I'm a trigger fire guy, so I wish it was here. When I hold it in my hand, I search for it a little bit, then I find it. I've got to move the mod up in my hand. And that's a little bit of a pain in the ass. The last thing I want to say about this thing is, if you have a rebuildable head with this, it's not a fucking pod system then, really, is it? It's a rebuildable. So you got to kind of take that into consideration. It's not a pod system anymore, it's rebuildable. So calling it rebuildable pod is bullshit. It's not really a rebuildable pod. It's a rebuildable mouth to lung device. Really is what it is. It's rebuildable mouth to lung device, not a rebuildable pod. Anyway, semantics.
Price.
So what is the Smoant Pasito going to set you back? Well, looking around the internet, a little bit of Google foo, I found it online in the States for $36 and around about that $55 mark here in Australia. Not bad. The Smoant Pasito, it's a pod system with a rebuildable section. They're pretty much all the same, but this one's got some cool features. And if you like the looks, and if you can afford the $55 in Australia, go out and pick one up. That's all I've got for you guys today. I really hope you enjoyed it. Like always, please like, please share, please subscribe. And remember, YouTube, keep it cloudy.
A Gutter Slut production.